Welcome back to the Market Bias Tracker Weekly Crypto Roundup. This week, buyers held control across most of the crypto board, but the story is not as clean as that headline sounds. 39 of the 50 names we track came in bullish, none registered bearish, and 11 sat in neutral territory. That is a buyer-heavy board on the surface. The question this week is whether that strength is real, broad, and sustainable, or whether it is concentrated in a handful of names while the rest of the board quietly stalls. That is the thread we are going to pull on throughout this recap. The overall tone for crypto this week was constructive but incomplete. Buyers still controlled more of the board, and the average score across all 50 tracked assets came in above 6.5. That is a meaningful tilt toward the bullish side. But the board summary itself flags that leadership still needs to broaden. A buyer-heavy board with narrow leadership is a board that deserves respect but also caution. It is not a broken board. It is just not a confirmed one yet. On the bullish side, Atom was the week's top-scoring name. It carried the highest score on the board and held its price near the weekly high. Support is sitting below current price, which gives the structure some room. The caution tag on Atom is a short time frame trend friction signal, meaning the longer-term picture looks constructive, but the shorter time frames are showing some chop. Bitcoin and Ethereum also appeared in the top bullish names this week, both scoring well and holding bullish bias. We will cover those in the majors section, but it is worth noting that the top of the bullish list this week was not dominated by speculative altcoins. That is a relatively healthy sign. On the weaker side of the board, FIL, PENDLE, and ICP were the laggards this week. All three sat in neutral bias territory, not bearish, but not participating in the bullish tone either. FIL carried the lowest score on the board and flagged trend friction on the 4-hour time frame. ICP showed the same 4-hour friction signal. PENDLE was slightly different, showing a short time frame bullish divergence, which means it may be trying to stabilize, but it has not confirmed anything yet. These names are not breaking down, but they are not following the leaders either. That gap matters when you are trying to read whether the board is genuinely healthy. For the majors check, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana all came in bullish this week. All three scored at or above 7.25. Bitcoin is holding above 77,000 in terms of support structure. Ethereum has support in the 2200s. Solana is holding above 83. The caution tags on Bitcoin and Ethereum are ATR stretch signals on the short time frame, meaning price has moved quickly relative to recent range. Solana carries a similar but slightly lighter stretch signal. These are not reversal calls. They are flags that say the short-term move has been fast, and fast moves can pause or pull back before continuing. Leadership quality this week is the honest part of this recap. The spread between the top names and the laggards is tighter than you would want to see in a fully confirmed bullish environment. 39 bullish names sounds strong, but 11 neutrals in a compressed score spread means the board is not firing on all cylinders. Leadership looks narrow rather than broad. That is not a reason to dismiss the bullish tone, but it is a reason to stay measured about it. The main caution from this week comes from the 4-hour trend friction tags appearing across multiple names, including some of the weaker assets. When friction shows up at the 4-hour level across a range of names, it suggests the board may need more time to digest before the next leg of clarity arrives. The daily ATR stretch tag is also present, which reinforces the idea that some of this week's move may have been fast enough to warrant patience. Looking ahead to next week, the key watch is whether Atom can hold its leadership position and whether the neutral names, particularly FL, start to confirm or break further. If the laggards begin to participate, leadership broadens and the bullish tone gets more credible. If they continue to stall while leaders stretch further, the gap becomes a risk rather than a feature. The 4-hour trend friction theme is the biggest structural caution to carry into next week. That is your weekly crypto context from MarketBiasTracker. Find the full board at MarketBiasTracker.com. This is market context, not a signal.